A while back, I made a video simply demonstrating each basic major and minor chord, and that video used bar chords where necessary. But not everybody is ready for those, so today I'll show you all the hacky chords that I've figured out that you can use instead of B minor, G minor, and so on. The first one we'll tackle is B, which is usually one of the trickiest bar chords on guitar. What we're going to do is put our index on the 2nd fret of the A string, our ring finger on the 4th fret of the D string. Then we're going to skip a string and we're going to put our pinky on the 4th fret of the B string. And we're just getting 3 notes, and those other ones, the G string and the E string, are going to be muted. The thickest string should also be muted. And let me explain how we're muting those. My index finger is resting underneath the thickest string, so it's just touching the underside of it, which mutes it. And then for the G string, my ring finger, the underside is touching that. And then for the high E string, it's actually the underside of my index finger that's touching it right there. So it takes a bit of getting used to, but that sounds nice and full. It's a great alternative to the B bar chord. Next we have B minor. And for that one, we play B minor 7. I put my index on the 2nd fret of the A string, I skip a string, middle finger on the 2nd fret of the G string, and then my ring finger on the 3rd fret of the B string. And you don't have to mute anything really. It sounds great, but I like muting the thinnest string just by letting the underside of my ring finger touch it. And we can also mute the thickest string, just like we did with the B chord. My index finger is just resting underneath it. C minor. For that one, we just take our C major chord and we go up 1, 2, 3 frets, and we make sure that we're muting the thinnest string. This technically makes a C minor over E flat chord, but it works as a C minor chord, no problem. For F, this is one of my favorite beginner replacements for the bar chords. Sounds almost identical. What we do is we skip the thinnest string, we put our index down on the 1st fret of the B string, our middle finger on the 2nd fret of the G string, then our pinky finger on the 3rd fret of D, and our ring finger just above that on the 3rd fret of the A string. My thumb is lightly touching the thickest string. My index is lightly touching the thinnest string. For F minor, we take this exact same thing, but we lift our index and middle. We put our index on the 1st fret of the G string, same place as it belongs on an E major chord. And we have our ring finger on the 3rd fret of A, pinky just underneath it, thumb still muting the thickest string, and we're just going to get those 3 strings. The highest strings are muted by the underside of my index. Finally, G minor. For that one, we have a really good one. Sounds super full, super easy to play too. I'm just going to take my middle finger, 3rd fret of the thickest string. The A string is muted by the underside of my middle finger. The D string is open. My ring finger goes on the 3rd fret of the G string. My pinky's just underneath it on the 3rd fret of the B string. So it kind of feels like a G chord, except I've moved these 2 fingers up and the thinnest string is being muted. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'm constantly releasing new lessons to help you learn guitar better. Also, don't forget to grab your copy of my free ebook. It's completely free for all my subscribers. There's a link to that in the corner and down below. Have a fun time practicing, and I'll see you soon.